Nigamakalpatarorgalitam palam shukamukat amtradrava samyutam vibhata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Bhagavatam is celebrated as Rasa Shastra. And when we sing the Gopi Gita, we can realize why Bhagavatam is celebrated as Rasa Shastra. Nandagopasutam Devam Vrajendra Rasaraja Gopika Nandanam Yashoda Paramanandam Govindam Vande Jagadguru Radhe Govindam Vande Jagadguru. We have been relishing Krishna's Vraja Leelas, the Atimanusha Cheshtitas of Krishna on the sacred land of Vraja. We have been relishing Krishna's Leela right from the time Krishna orchestrated his move from Mathura to Gokula. The time is approaching now for Krishna's return to Mathura. Last week we saw how Narada visits Mathura, pays a visit to Kamsa for a reason, prepares Kamsa for what is going to ensue. And we saw how Kamsa schemes and sends Akrura to bring Krishna back to Mathura. The Mahabhakta Akrura considers this as the opportunity of a lifetime and starts traveling from Mathura to Vrindavan. And on the way, we relished how Akrura was contemplating on that divine opportunity where he could get to see Krishna in person. Akrura reaches Vrindavana, and the first thing that he sees, a great assurance for him, he sees the divine footprints of Krishna. Padani tasyakila lokapala kirita justamala padarenoho tadarsha goshte kshiti kautukani vilakshitani abja yavan kushadye. The moment he sees those divine footprints, he knows those footprints contain the dust the rulers of all the planets across the universe hold on their crowns. The dust that the crowns are held, those footprints of Krishna with distinguished marks. He could see the distinguished marks. Dadasha goshte kshitikautokani vilakshitani abja yuvan kushadhyani. Lotus, barley corn, elephant goat, shankha, chakra, all kinds of footprints, all kinds of marks he sees, and he knows he is now sighted Krishna. Krishna is not far away. And Akrura is delighted. He gets horripilations all over his body as he stands there on his chariot waiting to get darshana of Krishna. He's absorbed. He knows his ultimate goal, his destiny has arrived. Deham britamiyan artaha hitvadhamban bhiyam shucham. This is the goal of everyone. Everyone has the same goal. And putting aside all fear, all pride, all lamentation, hitva dhambam bhiyam ashucham. His fear, the fear of how Kamsa could punish his family. If he gets to know that Akrura is celebrating his union with Krishna, Kamsa, for all he knows, he may take a drastic step. But he sets aside his fear. He sets aside his pride. He sets aside his lamentation. And he is absorbed in Krishna completely. Sandeshadyo Hare Linga Darshana Shravanadibihi. He is already listening, he is reminded of all the glories of Krishna, and he is mentally preparing himself. He is mentally preparing because he knows that it is not easy for him. The first sight of Krishna is not going to be easy for him to handle himself. So he is mentally preparing. And then he gets to see that glorious vision. Krishna and Balarama approach Akrura. Tadarsha Krishnam Ramam Chavaraje Godahanum Gatau Pita Neelam Bharadharau Charadambure Hudekshanau Kishaurau Shamala Shvetau Srinikeitau Brihadbhujau Sumukhau Sundaravarau Baladrivita Vikramau. He sees Krishna and Balarama. Krishna, as usual, dressed in Pitambara, yellow, striking yellow, and Balarama dressed in blue, as always. Both of them, one dark blue hued complexion, the other is Shvetavarna. Complete contrast, Balarama and Krishna. Both of them have lotus-like beautiful eyes. Both of them are well built. Both of them are handsome, enchanting, magnetic, and they are bedecked with beautiful ornaments, and they are walking towards him with an enchanting smile, like two baby elephants walking towards him. He felt such was the majesty of their walk. As Krishna and Balarama walked, he was so joyous. Immediately, Akrura jumped from his chariot and started running towards Krishna. He prostrated, fell then and there at the lotus feet of Krishna. What did Krishna do? He lifted him up, drew him close, and tightly hugged him. And that was a divine moment for which Akrura was waiting for a lifetime. And then Balarama took Akrura to his house, and then massaged his palms gently, washed his palms, and gave him food, prasada, argyam, padyam, achamaniyam. And after a while, after relaxing for a while, Akrura was counting his blessings. Every divine moment that he could spend with Krishna and Balarama, Akrura was in a state of gratitude. And Nanda approached Akrura. Akrura, how are people in Mathura? How is that wicked Kamsa doing? I hope everything is okay. And what brings you here? I hope Vasudeva and Devaki and everyone are all doing good. And then Akrura, with a very heavy heart, he then starts to recount the recent happenings in Mathura. Akrura conveys the visit of Narada Muni and whatever transpired, the conversation between Narada and Kamsa. And he says, Kamsa has found out that, hey Krishna, you are none other than the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. And he was about to slay Vasudeva, but then Narada stopped him. But Vasudeva and Devaki are once again imprisoned. They are in danger. But what to do? Kamsa also is scheming to kill you. In fact, he sent me here for the purposes of bringing you back so that he can kill you. Therefore, I am here, but I know that you will take care, hey Krishna. Akrura describes everything. And then he says, Dhanur Yaga is being performed, and hey Nanda, you are also invited. Nanda is not perturbed. He is not worried that Kamsa is scheming to kill Krishna. Nanda is overjoyed and he says, let us all go. Kamsa has invited us to Dhanur Yaga. We must all go together. And he looks around everyone. In the meantime, Krishna is looking at Akrura. Hey Akrura, how are my parents? Vasudeva and Devaki, I know I inflicted a lot of pain on them, and I realize this is the time for me to go back and assuage their feelings. And let me come with you. We will all get ready. Vasudeva sends a message to the entire Vrindavana, and on the streets of Vrindavana, it's being announced that Nanda is preparing tomorrow, early in the morning, to reach Mathura along with a group of Gopas, and most importantly, Krishna and Balarama are also going with them. Announcement is happening on the streets of Vrindavana, and everyone is shell-shocked. For a change, this announcement receives zero response. Everybody is shocked when they hear that Krishna is about to leave Vrindavana. All the Gopikas now are pained at heart. Their faces turn pale. Some of them start to shiver. Some of them instantaneously, it seems, become thin. All their bracelets, their bangles, their dresses become loose. And some swoon, some faint. They all develop jwara, fever. And they are all sink into a deep state of anguish, knowing that Krishna is going to leave them. Krishna is going to abandon them. Interestingly, Shuka narrates the lamentation of Gopikas, but he does not narrate the lamentation of Yashoda. Nowhere in this whole preparation of Nanda going to Mathura along with Krishna and Balarama, Akrura taking Krishna and Balarama to Mathura, nowhere we get to see Shuka narrating Yashoda's lamentation. He is only focused, he gets carried away describing the lamentation of all the Gopikas. One possible reason could be that Yashoda still firmly believed that Krishna will come back. Yashoda firmly believed now that Nanda is going with Krishna. After the Dhanur Yaga, Nanda will come back with Krishna. So therefore, Yashoda did not yet find a reason to lament. So that could be one reason why Shuka did not narrate Yashoda's lamentation. But all the Gopikas are in a deep state of shock, in a state of grief, unable to handle themselves. They all start to deeply meditate together. Gatim sulalitam cheshtam snigdahasa valokanam. They start to meditate on Krishna's graceful gait, all his cheshtitas, his affectionate smiling glances. Snigdahasa valokanam. Shokapahani narmani prodhama charitani cha. They start to contemplate on the jokes that he used to play on them, his words of comfort, his heroic deeds. Chintayantya mukhandasya. They meditate on Mukunda bhita viraha kataraha. They are now frightened, they are in fear. Now they know the fear is separation from Krishna. Sameta sanghasa prochuhu. They all now gathered together in a group. Ashrumukyaha achyutasyaha. With tears rolling down from their ears, their minds absorbed in Achyuta, they all come together to share their common grief. They are together deeply meditating on Krishna and not knowing how to handle this situation. And then together in unison, they all conclude the Creator has no mercy. Aho vidata stavanak vachiddaya. Hey Vidhata, what is this? Do you have no mercy? Samyojya maitraya pranayena dehinaha tams chakratartan yunamstu apartakam. You bring together two people who love each other and you senselessly separate them immediately. You are like vikriditam te arbhaka cheshtitam yata. This act of yours is like a child playing with a toy, bringing two toys together and immediately throwing the toys without even thinking how those two will feel. How can you do this to us? Yastvam pradashayita kuntalavritam mukunda vaktram sukapola unmasam. We still cannot take our eyes off Mukunda. We just got an opportunity to soak into his beauty and now you are removing away from him. How can you do this, He Vidata? You have no mercy at all. They start to criticize him. Then they say, how blessed are the people of Mathura, especially the women of Mathura, how blessed they are. Sukham prabhata rajaniyamasisaha satya babuvuhu purayoshitam dhruvam. The dawn after this night will be the most auspicious, not for Vrindavana, but for Mathura. Especially for all the women of Mathura who have been waiting to see Krishna. All their hopes, all their blessings they received will now be fulfilled. Ya sampravishtaya mukham rajaspate pashyanti apangot kalita spitasavam. The Lord of Raja is now entering the city of Mathura soon and they will get an opportunity to drink the nectar of the smile, drink the nectar of his glances. How blessed the Mathura Vasis are. Now our loss is Mathura's gain. how blessed they are. All the Gopikas. Yasyanuraga lalita smita valgu mantra Leela valoka parirambhana rasa goshta Neetasmanah kashvanam iva kashnada vitaram Gopya katam no atirena tamodurantam. During Rasa Krida, hey Krishna, you appeared and then you disappeared. Even then, we were not worried because we knew that when you disappeared, it is just a matter of time before your appearance. But we know now your disappearance is going to be permanent. You are going to permanently disappear. We still remember that one night of Rasa Krida was like millions of nights put together. Millions of nights. One Ratri of Brahma was brought into one moment. And now we feel that in your absence, we are going to be forever imprisoned in darkness. Without you, sun has permanently set here in Vrindavana and we are going to be immersed in darkness. Hey Krishna, Yonakshaye Brajamananta Sakah Paritaha Gopair Vishan Kurarajas Churitalakashak. How can we exist without Ananta's best friend? Krishna, how can we exist without you? Who in the evenings would return from the forests of Vrindavana in the company of cowherd boys. Gopair Vishan Kurarajas Churitalakashak. With all the hair completely with the powders of the dust from the forests of Vrindavana. But still, that looked so very beautiful. Venum Panam Smithakatasha Nikishanena Chittam Kshinoti Amumrutenu Katam Bhavena. As you played your flute, hey Krishna, you would captivate our minds, and your glances that you gave while you walked on the street of Vrindavana. When will we ever get an opportunity once again to be blessed with those glances? When will we ever get an opportunity to be called by you playing your flute? Mukunda is not going to return anymore. The Gopikas now are coming to a conclusion. One Gopika is saying to another, you know what? We are all unsophisticated village girls. When Krishna goes to Mathura, he will come across sophisticated city women who are with their wordplay, and they are going to capture Krishna forever. They are all rich there in Mathura. All are decorated, wearing very, very nice dresses with all great ornaments which will attract and capture Krishna. He is never going to come back to Vrindavana. Mukunda will not return. And they look at him. Akrura is preparing the chariot for Krishna and Balarama to go along with him. They look at him. Is he Akrura? No. He is Krura. This Akrura, who gave him this name? He should have been named Krura. He is snatching our Krishna away, and nobody seems to be stopping Krishna. Krishna has now got into the chariot. Balarama too has got into the chariot. Akrura is now ready. All the Vrajavasis are looking at them, but why is nobody stopping them? What is happening? Everybody is just shocked, not moving. Hard-hearted Krishna has already mounted the chariot. There is Krishna going away. Evam bruvana virahahatura brusham rajastriya Krishna visakta manasaha vijjasya lajjam rudasma suswaram Govinda Damodara Madhava Vistrijya lajjam rudusma suswaram. The Gopikas of Braja until then were always very, very careful. When they called out to Krishna, it was always in privacy, in the forests of Braja, not on the streets of Vrindavana. But now they set aside, they abandoned all lajja, abandoned all the shame. Evam bruvana virahatura brusham rajastriya Krishna visakta manasaha. The feelings of separation overpowered them so much, and all the Gopikas looked at Krishna. Abandoning their shame, they started to call out. They now know nobody else will help them. Nanda is going away. All the Vrajavasis are going away. Nobody is stopping Krishna. Akrura has already started the chariot. The chariot is going away and away from them. Therefore, they start to call out, Hey Govinda, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Hey Govinda, Hey Damodara, Hey Madhava, why don't you stop? Why are you abandoning us? Krishna knows he is being called. Krishna also is afraid of turning around and looking at them. Krishna also cannot look at them because Balarama is asking, at least why don't you turn around? Look at them for one last time. Krishna says, if I look at them, I will not be able to go to Mathura. I cannot look at them. Krishna is only looking now towards Mathura. Now all the Gopikas are calling out, hey Govinda, hey Damodara, hey Madhava. Krishna writes a message. And as he goes, he calls a messenger and gives a message. The messenger is running back. And the Gopikas are still calling out. And as they see the chariot of Krishna disappearing in dust, the messenger comes and gives them a message. Krishna says, I will come back. That's his parting message to the Gopikas. When, where, how, it doesn't say. The Gopikas stand motionless. They become like paintings. Painting like Krishna, the creator, drew the best possible painting ever, and the Gopikas are the characters in those paintings, the figures in a beautiful painting, standing shocked, motionless, with minds totally absorbed in Krishna. They come to a conclusion that from henceforth they do not have Krishna, but they only have Krishna Smarana with them, and therefore they turn back finally with Krishna's assurance that he shall meet them again, he shall come. They go back. Question that we all need to ask: does Krishna keep his promise or not? Krishna moves away. To know the answer for this question, we have to wait until the end of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, few months ahead. Krishna continues the journey along with Balarama and Akrura. He already asked, Akrura already asks Nanda and others to move ahead. So in group, Nanda already goes. So Krishna along with Balarama is following in Akrura's chariot. Akrura is thrilled. Finally, he gets an opportunity to have one-to-one time with Krishna. He is now driving the chariot in which Krishna is traveling with him. Krishna and Balarama travel and they have a beautiful conversation as they go along. Akrura is sharing his own remembrances of what he heard about the happenings in Vraja. And as they travel soon, they reach Kalindi, Yamuna. Then they decide to get down to do the ablutions, evening Sandhya Vandana. And Krishna and Balarama finish their prayers, and then drinking the cool waters of Yamuna, Krishna and Balarama come back to the chariot. Now Akrura wants to take a bath and he dips in Yamuna, and in the cool waters of Yamuna, chanting Veda mantras, Akrura takes a dip. And as Akrura takes a dip and goes deep inside the water, he opens his eyes and he sees Krishna and Balarama inside, in the waters. For a moment he is shell-shocked, and then he gets out, and then again he sees Krishna and Balarama standing there in the waters of Yamuna. He saw both of them going out to the chariot again. He rushes back, and then he goes and sees Krishna and Balarama sitting on the chariot, both of them having a conversation. He's not clear what is going on. He's confused. Krishna and Balarama he sees in the waters of Yamuna. He rushes and comes out and he sees Krishna and Balarama in the chariot. And then he goes back again. And then this time he goes and walks into the waters of Yamuna. And then he sees a glorious vision. And Akrura's vision is so glorious that he did not anticipate something like this. Bhuyas tratapi sodrakshit Suyamanam ahishwaram siddha charana gandharvai ashurai natakandharai sahasra sirasam devam sahasra panamaulinam nilambaram vishasvetam shringaishveta ivastitam nilambaram vishasvetam shringashveta ivastitam. Akrura sees a glorious vision. Bhuyas tatrapi sodrakshit stuyamana mahishwaram siddha charana gandharvai asurai nata kandharai. Suddenly he sees siddhas, charanas, gandharvas, all the devatas there, coming there and showering flowers from the skies. And then what he sees? Sahasra Shirasam Devam Sahasra Panimaulinam. He sees Adisesha, Ananta there, in all grandeur. Sahasra Shirasam, thousands of heads. Sahasra Panamaulinam, each with thousands of hoods and thousands of crowns, kiritas in each, studded with gems. Neelambaram Vishashvetam, wearing Adisesha, wearing Neelambar, wearing striking blue dress and strikingly white in color. Shringaihi Shvetam Ivastitam. Suddenly it looked like the Kailasha Parvata standing there in the form of Adisesha. Strikingly white, massive, thousands of heads, Adisesha there. Then as he sees further, his focus then is drawn towards what is there on the laps of Adisesha. Sitting on Adisesha. Who was sitting on Adisesha? Tasyot Sange Ghanashyamam Pita Kausheya Vasasam Purusham Chaturbhujam Shantam Padma Patranukekshanam Charu Prasannavadanam Charuhasa Nirikshanam Subhrunasam Charukarmam Sukapola Runadharam Pralamba Pivara Bhujam Tungam Soras Talashriyam Kambukantam Nimnanabhim Valimat Pallavodaram Sumaharha Manivrata Kirita Katakangadaihi Katisutra Brahmasutra Harani Nupura Kandalaihi Rajamanam Padmakaram Shanka Chakra Gadhadaram Srivatsavakshasam Bhrajat Kaustubham Vanamalinam. There he sees a glorious vision. Srivatsavaksham Bhrajat Kaustubham Vanamalinam. Narayana himself sitting on the laps of Adisesha. Now, Akrura knows this Narayana is Krishna and this Adisesha is Balarama, and such a glorious vision, as though Paramapada Vaikunta has been transported all the way to Yamuna, and he is in a state of awe with horripilations all over. And then Akrura immediately submits himself and then prays. Natosmyaham tva akila hetu hetum Narayanam Purusham Adyam Avyayam Yannabhijatat Aravinda Koshat Dhamma Virasid Yatayesha Lokaha. Natosmyaham tva akila hetu hetum. You are akila hetu hetum. You are the cause of all causes. Hey Narayana, Purusham Adyam Avyayam. You are the Purushottama. You are Avyaya. Yannabhijatat Aravinda Koshat. It is the creation emanated in the form of Brahma from your lotus-like Nabhi, and then through Brahma you created everything else. You are the Adi Karana, you are the Sakala Karana, you are the Jagat Karana. I prostrate to you, hey Akila Karana, hey Narayana. Sarvayeva yajantitvam sarvadeva mayeshwaram ye panya devata bhakta yadyap anyadhiya prabho. This again reminds us of what Krishna teaches in the 9th chapter. In his prayers, Akrura looks at Narayana. Hey Narayana, you in the process of this creating this universe, you manifest itself in various forms, and different devotees, different bhaktas pray to you in different manners, pray to you through various forms, various deities. But let me tell you, I have realized this, what the Shastras teach. Sarvayeva yajantitvam sarvadeva mayeshwaram epanya devata bhakta yadyapi anyadhiya prabho. Even when people pray to different deities, ultimately their worship is only reaching you. Ultimately, every yajna that is performed is only reaching you. Every worship that is being performed, it is only reaching you. Then Akrura knows, Krishna may ask this, if everyone is worshipping me, then everyone should attain me. Why is it not happening? Akrura says, Yathadri prabhavanadyaha padjaya putarah prabho vishanti sarvatas sindhum tadvattam gatayontataha. Rivers from different mountains, different rivers, all of them eventually reach the ocean. Similarly, when everyone offers their prayers to any deity, their prayers are eventually only coming to you. Just like how the rivers, irrespective of where they come from, rivers are coming from different mountains. The waters in the rivers are reaching the ocean, but the mountains don't reach the ocean. Similarly, when different people pray to you through different deities, their prayers eventually reach, but they may or may not reach you. And therefore, and Krishna immediately asks, if that is the case, why is it happening? Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Like how Krishna says, because of the three gunas, different forms, different manifestations are created to appeal to people with different gunas. Eventually, you are the one who gives Shraddha to them, and eventually their worship reaches. And then people realize that all these forms, all these manifestations are eventually emanating from you, and when they worship you, they attain you, hey Krishna. And then he says, Yani Yani Harupani Kradanartham Vibharsihi Tair Amrista Sucholoka Mudagayanti Te Yashaha. Hey Bhagavan, you manifest, you take several avatars to enjoy your pastimes, your cheshtitas. You yourself enjoy those cheshtitas, and in that process, you also give us an opportunity to enjoy your cheshtitas. Tair Amrishta Sucholoka. Through these various avatars, you also clear away all the inauspiciousness in the world, and then you give an opportunity for all of us to keep contemplating on you. Muda Gayanti Te Yashaha. Of those who joyously keep chanting. Every avatara, hey Bhagavan, is an opportunity for us to celebrate your Kalyana Gunas. Through every avatara, you demonstrate various Kalyana Gunas, and those become an opportunity for us to keep praying and connecting with you. Bhagavan Jivalokoyam Mohitas Tava Mayaya Aham Mameti Asadgraho Brahmyate Karmavatmasu. Hey Bhagavan, the living entity, all the Bhaddha Jivas are bewildered by your Maya. Mohitas Tava Mayaya. Again, what Krishna says in the Gita. My Maya, Mama Maya Duratyaya, he says. Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Duratyaya. It is your Maya which traps everyone. Maya is nothing but the Prakriti which traps everyone, to which everyone gets attached. Aham Mameti Asadgraho. Because of attachment to Prakriti, Maya, everyone develops I-ness and mindness. And by developing I-ness and mindness, Brahmyate Karmavatmasu, they are forced to keep wandering in the cycle of samsara, doing Kamya Karma repeatedly. Hey Bhagavan, because of this, everyone remains bewildered. And in the process, everyone gets disease. And what is that disease? He says, that disease is called the disease of samsara, which is nothing but forgetfulness. Forgetfulness of Krishna is the disease of samsara. Anityanatma dukkeshu viparyaya matirhyah. Mistaking what is anitya to be nitya, and anatma to atma. Thinking the sharira, identifying ourselves with the sharira, and thinking the source of misery as the sources of joy. People get attached. And he says, and Akrura uses a beautiful word for all the Baddha Jivas. He says, Dvandvaramaha tamo vishtaha. Dvandvaramaha. All the samsaris, he says, are Dvandvarama. Who are Dvandvarama? Who take pleasure in the material dualities. Who think the summum bonum of life is essentially to experience pleasure right here. Even though pleasure and pain keep alternating, they mistake that everything in this world can last forever, and they become Dvandvarama, taking pleasure in material dualities. Najane tvatmana priyam. And as long as this happens, one cannot recognize you as the real object of love, because they are busy. They are busy dealing with the dualities of life, and in that process, they completely forget what is the ultimate object of life, what is the ultimate goal of life. And then this leads to the disease called forgetfulness of Krishna. And this is the root cause of samsara. Hey Krishna, therefore, my intelligence is so crippled. Akrura is saying, I am a kripanadhihi, and it is not possible for me to control or master my mind. What can I do? I can only surrender to you. Soham tavangri upagatosmi asatam durapam. Therefore, the only thing I can only approach your feet and surrender to you. And then Akrura thinks, am I even capable of surrendering to the lotus feet of Krishna? He says, even that is not possible. Tachapyaham bhavat anugraha ishamanye. Hey Krishna, even that surrender of mine, I think it is not possible without your anugraha. I think only by surrendering, I can actually find a solution to this fear, the disease of forgetfulness. But even to surrender, tachapyaham bhavad anugrahi ishamanye, it is only possible because of your anugraha. Pumsho bhavetyarhi samsarana pavargaha. Only when one's material life ceases, by abjanabasad upasanaya matisayat. Only when one starts to unshackle oneself from the dualities of life, one can stay connected, one can stay immersed in you. And how this detachment from the world will happen, it is only when you decide, only when you, with your anugraha, you burn away those attachments, and then I will be able to surrender. Until then, I am shackled, I am pulled. The forces of these dualities of samsara cannot be overcome by me. Even to prostrate, it is not possible for me. No, we think we all easily physically prostrate. We are physically prostrating, but the mind is not prostrating. The mind is still the I-ness and the mindness is very much intact in the mind. The body may prostrate, but the mind is still not in a position to surrender. Why? It is being forced, shackled and pulled back. There is a force which keeps pulling back. Every time we try to prostrate, we are being pulled back, and those chains can only be, the unshackling can only happen with your anugraha, hey Krishna. Therefore, you and you alone can do that. Even prostrating to you is not within my capacity. Therefore, I require your mercy, hey Krishna. Then he looks at Krishna and then he says, Namo Vijnana Matraya Sarva Pratyaya Hetave Purushesha Pradhanaya Brahmane Ananta Shaktaye Namaste Vasudevaya Sarva Bhuta Kshayaya Cha Rishikesha Namastubhyam Prapannam Pahimam Prabho. Prapannam Pahimam Prabho. Prapannam Pahimam Prabho. As Akrura prays to Krishna, all of a sudden, that glorious vision. Akrura is presented with a vision which was so glorious, massive in size, Adisesha, with thousands of heads. And Krishna as Narayana was seated. And as he was praying, all of a sudden, the vision disappears. Akrura again goes into a shock. Why it has disappeared? And then he turns around and he comes back with a heavy heart, because Akrura wished to just continue to be blessed with that vision. He did not want to come out of that experience. Therefore, he was disheartened. But as he was walking towards the chariot, he could once again see Balarama and Krishna seated on Balarama's lap. The same vision again repeats in a different form. Akrura is thrilled once again to see that Narayana and Adisesha have come to me in such a way that they are so very accessible to me. And then as he comes, Krishna smiles. Hey, Akrura, looking at your face, it looks like you have seen something. Either you should have seen something in the sky, something wondrous in the sky, or something wondrous in the waters, or something wondrous on the earth. Something has seen. I can see from your face. Akrura smiles and he looks at Krishna and says, Hey Krishna, yes, I have seen amazing things, but then all the amazing things that one can see on the earth or in the skies or in the water, all exist in you, hey Krishna. And when I am seeing you, what else should I see anymore? Now that I am seeing you, I am seeing the universe. I am seeing the Brahmanda in you. And this is a realization that I have obtained thanks to your Leela, hey Krishna. Krishna knows that Akrura has experienced his Vishwarupa Darshana as part of his prayers, and Akrura is thrilled. All his desires are fulfilled then and there. Krishna says, Akrura, aren't we getting late? No, I think it's time for us to go to Mathura. And Akrura gets into the chariot and starts driving, and together with Krishna and Balarama starts driving to Mathura, and they arrive on the outskirts of Mathura. Isn't it time for us also to travel towards Mathura? Krishna along with Balarama have arrived in Mathura, waiting for us. Let them wait another week. We will go and receive them and continue our Krishna Katha right together, right on the sacred land of Raja. Let us all chant these shlokas together. I will send a recording of these 2 shlokas. I want all of you to chant these shlokas every day, contemplating on Krishna's vision, not just to Akrura, that he is going to give to all of us. Namo Vijnana Matraya Sarva Pratyaya Hetave Purushesha Pradhanaya Brahmane Ananta Shaktaye Namaste Vasudevaya Sarva Bhutakshayaya Cha Rishikesha Namastubhyam Prapannam Pahi Mam Prabho Namaste Vasudevaya Sarva Bhutakshayaya Cha Rishikesha Namastubhyam Prapannam Pahi Mam Prabho Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya